yensua obo mbe bi koye no ah me nana obetra ko yesu no ene se so yakun yensua utimi nda ko nyida.
Let's learn and celebrate our culture on Movie Time every Monday to Friday at 12 noon. Movie Time every Monday to Friday at 12 noon. Enjoy the omnibus on weekends at 11 p.m.
Wow. Really? So what's going on? It's RJ.
Yadamone kuo, David is saying in Yamie. Yadamone kuo, Yewe. Eddie come for Monaco. Yadamone kuo, David is saying in Yamie. Eddie come for Monaco, Yewe. Mufa ye my uncle, Mufa Sedan Macris, and the Fiasse. No be your name was a very my sweat. The other money could live. And I see Eddie Bemano, Eddie Bemano, somebody made the other money could live. Eddie come from Monaco. Ghana and Kwaso. Mampeni Kwaso. Eddie come for money, they be signing in Yamie. Eddie come for money, Eddie come for money, they be signing in Yamie. On my money, Mo fast down my uncle, fa ye ma Christ near the fiancé. No be ye ne was a very my sweet. Fear the money and I see ya. Yedi bema no yeah. Yedi bema no. The money Bompaya, Kaigana, Sewo Yankopon, Fagana Shenesa, Sewo Bompaya, Kaigana, Sewo Yankopon, Fagana Shenesa, and no now we are my papa, and no now what do my woman, and no ara, na yes, na do my woman, and no ara. Kaigana, Sewo Yankopon, Fagana Shenesa, Sewo Bompaya, Kaigana, Sewo Yankopon, Fagana Shenesa, and no now we are my papa, and no now water, my woman, and no ara, I am shed on my woman, and no ara.
Beautiful music, patriotic, melodic, rhythmic, harmonic from Ancient. Talented Ghanaian guitarist, singer, composer, putting us in the mood for the 66th independence celebration of Ghana. My name is Kafui Day. Welcome to the show. I've got between the three of us here, I think we represent about easily 5 regions and 1 country and countless professions. To my immediate left is Dr. Anani Ejinde, Kweku Anani Ejinde. He is a lawyer, he's a lecturer, he's a journalist, he's a governance expert, and he's on our Monday morning panel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good day to you.
Same to you.
Fantastic. Good to see your smile.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm a very proud Ghanaian.
One
today.
time, I see it. I see it. You exude Ghanaianness.
Yeah, I'm a very proud Ghanaian today.
Wonderful.
Very proud.
Wonderful.
I'm happy that God did not make a mistake by putting me somewhere else.
At all. God doesn't make mistakes.
So He put me here.
In the right place.
Yeah,
to do the right
place.
things.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
And to his left is a lawyer and historian and Anachi Frimpong. Happy Independence Day to you too, sir.
Thank you, my
Awesome.
brother.
Good to see you.
Thank you, my brother.
I love your cloth. I know all these cloths have names. I don't know whether you know the name of this one, but they all have names.
Unfortunately, no.
Yes.
For this.
But there will definitely be a name.
I know.
I'm
Before
sure
we finish, somebody
will tell you the name of the cloth. Yeah, wonderful stuff. I'll start with you first, Dr. Anani Ejinde. What's on your mind this morning, 6th March?
6th March. On my mind this morning. Let me start from yesterday. You know, yesterday was 5th March.
Yes.
Before any big event, there's always a preparation. So I was expecting that the media, on the eve of Ghana's independence, there should have been something to put us in the mood. But I flipped through most of the television programs. I did not see anything. People were rather interested in showing hip hop at the tertiary level, gate crash, or what's the name?
You couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. Did it 5th March, just the day before our independence. So you prepare people through deliberate editorial policy, you prepare the minds of the people. Because today to be full of action, people going on health work, so you prepare the minds of the people. You remind them, this is what our forefathers have done. That is where we are today. So let us celebrate them, let us recognize their contribution, and then prepare the minds of the people to put them in the independent mode.
How do you rate the media in terms of consciousness of Ghanaians?
Now, most of the media practitioners these days, most of them are very unpatriotic. Because, unfortunately, most media practitioners are not even qualified journalists. And this is what I've been saying. Look, before you practice law in Ghana, you are licensed, isn't it? Before you practice medicine, you are licensed. Before you practice teaching, you are licensed. So I'm advocating that anybody who wants to practice journalism in this country, you should be given some license to practice. I know people will be talking about freedom of expression, freedom of the press, but before you put people to inform, educate, and entertain people, they should have some basic training. Anybody who can speak a lot of, who can say a lot of tree proverbs, calls himself a journalist. He doesn't call himself a presenter. There's a difference between a presenter and a trade journalist. And sometimes some of the confusion we have in this country is because people who call themselves journalists are in fact not journalists. So I think it's the awareness. Kafui, if you go to GIJ, the consciousness, the Pan-African spirit that you go through, you'll be aware of your environment. Yeah. But these days, anybody, after 2-3 weeks, from some obscure media institute calls himself a journalist.
And we have really great training institutions, Ghana Institute of Journalism, AUCC,
yes, exactly.
University of Ghana. You have so many of these media training institutions where a lot of conscious people are there trying to shape the industry.
But most of them don't go to such places.
Yeah, they go
for 3 weeks and he calls himself a journalist. Yeah. So that is the problem. So that is the first part that I wanted to just mention. We should be more patriotic, more nationalistic, and then let people feel that we are Ghanaians. If we don't celebrate our own, who is going to celebrate us?
Indeed.
And you see, that's the negative part. But this morning, when I was sitting there and then I heard that ever song that Yesu Nababa in the church.
Yes.
You know, in the olden days, it was not like that. According to my father, when they were going to church, you could not even wear, you could not put on your cloth.
You couldn't wear beads.
Now you can see Agbaja being played and you hear the big drums, what we call the British Caledonia.
Yes.
And you see, what's the name?
Vugan, the big drum. Yes.
So when I saw that, I said, gradually, Ghanaians are beginning to realize and accept what we have as a people. Yeah. So I was very proud when I saw that.
Ephraim Mamu suffered because of this.
That's what I was to say.
Ephraim Mamu suffered. He was sacked from the church.
Definitely.
Because he came in a white cloth. He came dressed like not a lawyer, not and they sacked him. They said, no.
And I think apart from that, now most weddings and engagement, people prepare to use the African costume instead of the usual tie you wear and then you sweating in this heat.
Yes.
So gradually we are waking up. We are waking up. So the consciousness, the awareness, the awakening is gradually coming. Yes. But what we need is the social conscientization.
Yes, indeed.
Is coming.
Yeah.
Social decolonization of the mindset is coming.
Oh, yes.
But we need to decolonize our economy as well.
Thank you very much, sir. Liberate it. And for those of you who think you can string together 2 or 3 proverbs and you think you're a journalist, well, Dr. Jinde just has a very mean opinion of you. I know he's my friend. He doesn't got a mean opinion of me. I have a proverb I want to share with you before I go to Noyanochi. So, cat says, meow. He has appetite for fried fish, but frying it is the problem. Cat says he has appetite for fried fish, but frying it is the problem. Let me translate it into adverb. Daddy Betty, kalami dudu droye, gake etotwenye do. Kalami is fried fish. Daddy is the cat. And it says, kalami totwe droye. He has appetite. He longs for fried fish, but the frying it is the problem. And somebody asked, so what's the meaning of this proverb? Well, I said, it basically means you may have all the desires you want, you have in your head, but if you don't have the resources, you won't actualize them. The English version will be if wishes were
Horses.
horses, beggars would ride. So we have brought it down. Daddy Betty, kalami duduzre kake etotunyedo. Cat says he has appetite for fried fish, but the frying it is the problem. With that proverb, I link straight to Yanochi from Pong, Mr. Esquire. Good morning, happy Independence Day to you. What's on your mind this morning as you are clad in your rich kente?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, this morning we are talking about the 66th independence anniversary of this blessed country of ours. At the same time, everybody thinks about the 1966 coup. There's no way you can think of 66 without that infamous coup striking your mind or pricking your attention. And that is the reason why today I believe that some of us would have to talk to the government to begin thinking about the spiritual side of the independence of this country. Why the spiritual side? There is this famous Kenyan theologian, philosopher, Professor John Mbiti, who wrote that the African is incurably religious. No, there's no African who is not religious. After all, the 1992 Constitution mentions the name of God. And then from independence 1957 to date, whenever we are swearing in a president, he picks the national sword and swears, takes the oath of allegiance in the name of the Constitution, in the name of the people of Ghana. And that alone is highly spiritual. And until the president has taken the sword to swear, as our chiefs do, there is no way he can call himself the president of Ghana. That is the reason why 7 December we elect a president. You can't call him a president. He remains president-elect until 1 month later when he takes that sword and then swears. Then from that day he becomes the president of Ghana. So the spiritual aspect of our country is as important as the physical aspect. Even in the Bible, when Jesus Christ is healing anybody, the first thing he says is that your sins are forgiven. To link or create a link between you and your God before he does the physical one. Now, when I came here last week, I mentioned the fact that certain people who deserve to be honored have not been honored. The first among them, actually, Kwame Nkrumah. We talk about Ni Kwabena Bone II. We talk about Sergeant Ajete, Udate Lamte, and then Atipo. And so sad, the last two, even where they are buried, nobody knows. I believe that the state will have to do something about it. Now, talk about the 1951 elections. The CPP won 34 out of 38 seats, but the other parties made up substantially of those who call themselves the Big Six, minus Kwame Nkrumah, and of course Akwaji, complained that the British should not give us independence. I mean, people who are old enough, like the professor sitting in Ahmed, knows that Buzia specifically wrote a letter to the British Parliament, and the heading was, "Are you leaving us so soon?" Please, am I lying?
Yeah, you are right.
Yes. Are you leaving us so soon?
Where was the Queen going?
He felt that independence was slipping. Instead of Dankwa and that, it was going to a newcomer. And they were not satisfied about that. You know, Nkrumah was the brain behind the 1948 riots, the brain behind, and indeed the architect of the 1950 positive action. And in 1953, he moved the motion of destiny.
The destiny motion.
The destiny motion, the motion of destiny, you know, calling upon the British Parliament to ensure that Ghana will get our independence. Around the same time, the leaders of the opposition went to British Parliament and asked that our independence should not be given to us. So they delayed us with 2 successive elections. Now, after 1966, what happened? General Afrifa started attending meetings with the leadership of the UP tradition. And in the end, we don't need to say here, before you realize, an abortive coup was staged. And then the 1966 February coup, General Kotoka was killed, paving the way for Dr. K.A. Buzia ultimately to become the chairman of the Ghana Civic Education and eventually becoming the Prime Minister of Ghana on silver platter. But because this was a man who had opposed Ghana's independence, there was a curse following him. No wonder in less than 2.5 years, his government was overthrown.
Who cursed him?
Who cursed him? Nkrumah will curse all his enemies. The spirit of the land, as I started by saying, will curse all those who were anti-independence. We have got spirits everywhere. And I started by saying that the African is incurably religious. And I'm also saying that before you take your seat as president, you need to swear. Before you take your seat as Asante or Chen, whatever, you need to swear an oath. Without that, you can never be the leader of the people. And those people, all the spirits, are watching us. Maybe you call that spirit the spirit of God. There's no way the Americans would denigrate the name of Washington or Abraham Lincoln or South Africa, that of Mandela. Everybody has got their founder. And the moment you try to demean the soul of the founder, you have removed the spirit of the nation, and the nation cannot stand. Now talk about 1972. Buzia was quickly overthrown, I told you. And then 1979, the Third Republic. Liman would not last in power. It was spiritual because Liman was a career diplomat. He was one of the architects of the institution of an anti-Nkrumah program in all the Ghana missions to ensure that Nkrumah would not be able to return to his country.
How do you mean?
What I mean is that when Nkrumah was overthrown, the National Liberation Council was afraid that the man would come back. So in all our foreign missions, they were made to ensure that they would monitor the activities of Nkrumah. And one of the leaders of the monitors was this man, Dr. Hila Liman. Then in 1979, as I have said, Imoru Gala, who was the father of the PNP and was going to be made the presidential candidate, was disqualified on the ground that he was found guilty by some committee of inquiry after the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah. And he was a nephew to this man, Imoru Egala. And he, being an anti-Nkrumah, immediately metamorphosed into an Nkrumahist. Because in 1969, he was part of the Constituent Assembly that drew the 69 Constitution on the part of K.A. Buzia. So no wonder spiritually, this was a man who was not going to last. Now come and talk about Jerry John Rawlings. Can you imagine that just before he metamorphosed into a civilian leader, he ensured the renaming of University of Science and Technology back to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and then bringing the mortal remains of Nkrumah from an otherwise obscure area to a place where the whole world will see him and then give him the reverence that he deserves. And we still see it. No wonder that this man had a very serene 8-year administration. Now come Mr. J.A. Kufuor. We are all old enough to know that Ghana at 50?
2007.
In fact, he celebrated it as if he didn't belong to the anti-Nkrumah group. Everything was in honor of Kwame Nkrumah. Now comes Professor J.E.A. Mills. You see how they created the 2 cedi and then the holiday independence, or what do you call it, Founders Day for him, and then sending an Nkrumah statue to the AU headquarters. So he becomes another man who revered Nkrumah. Now comes Mahama. He did nothing to obliterate the image of Nkrumah. Then comes this government, the Nana Akufo-Addo, consciously fighting a man who died far back in April 1972, making sure that no 2 cedi note at all. 2, cropping off the face, the image, the effigy of Nkrumah, wherever he will find it, out of the big 6, ensuring that the syllabus of all educational institutions would change to ensure that wherever the name Nkrumah would appear, it will rather be, what do you call it, the big 6 or the founders. And I believe that is why the nation is suffering. So I will conclude by saying that it is only when we have given reverence to all our leaders who served us, especially the true founder of the nation, that Ghana can make it. Otherwise, they will give him $3 billion IMF dollars every day. The money will be squandered because spiritually we don't have a foundation now. And it is not difficult going back, never difficult. Just reconcile with the founder and you will see wonders. Thank you.
Can I make some quick reaction?
Let me go to Bono and come back.
Okay.
Yes, so let it be percolating in your brain. And I'll go to Bono region where thank you, by the way, Mr. Frimpong, where our Bono regional correspondent, Mr. John Sam Arthur, is available to give us a flavor of the 66th independence celebrations in the Bono region. John, good morning. Happy Independence Day to you.
Hello.
John, you are live on GTV Breakfast. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Kafi. Welcome to Jubilee Park here in Sunyani, the traditional home of the 6th March Independence Parade. And this year, things are beginning to shape up for this year's edition. As I speak, the various participants, mainly school children and the security services, are in the process of getting ready. They are yet to start forming up, and as I speak, the members of the public are trickling in gradually, and I'm sure by the time we get to start, this place will be packed as it normally is on Independence Parade Day. And today we are expecting a total of 55 schools to participate in the parade, and they'll be made up of 1,272 school children, and they will be looked after by 135 teachers. As is the custom, the security services will also be participating in this parade, and I'm told that for the first time we are going to have a female parade commander here in the Bono region, and she's going to be in the person of Captain Crystal Kunedu Odami, and she's going to make history here today as the first female parade commander to supervise the parade here. And the security services will be made up of the military, that's the 3rd Battalion of Infantry here in Sunyani, as well as a contingent from the police, the Ghana Fire Service, the prison service, and the immigration service. There will be 264 in number in 8 contingents. So it's a waiting game now as we get ready for the parade to begin. But if I'm just to give you a glimpse of what is going on here, as you can see, the days is empty, but some guests have started trickling in. And as you can see, the most seats are empty for now, but I'm sure with time people will start coming in for the parade to begin. Members of the public are also coming in. The school kids who Sixth March is all about are also getting ready, sprucing up. I can see some kids polishing their shoes, getting ready for their big day. So I just want to get closer to the action so that you can see our school kids getting ready. So tell me, what school is this? Say it again.
Solomon Bennett.
Oh, Solomon Bennett. So what can we expect from you guys today?
Nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best.
Yes.
Okay, so you are live on GBC Breakfast Show. Say hi to Ghana. Yes. So those are kids of Solomon Bennett School getting ready. And the cadet corps will also be here. I can see some cadet corps guys. Excuse me, what school are you from? Say it again.
St. James Seminary.
Oh, St. James, the famous St. James.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you guys today?
The best enough.
Great. So, like I told you, it's all the calm before the storm here today at the Sunyani Jubilee Park. Members of the public are here in their gradually coming in. Who are not on duty are also here to enjoy the parade. Just like the school kids, I'm sure these girls are going to be on parade. Please cheer. Good morning. What school are you from?
Gangma African Faith.
And I'm sure you're going to be marching.
Yes, please.
Tell me what's going on through your head.
Oh, I think everything is going on, and the date is set for the program, so we are
I
waiting.
see.
Yes.
So, what can we expect from your children?
Oh, expect more from us.
Great. See, I like this small boy with his Ghana flag. How are you? Yeah, what's your name? Thank you. The kids are here in their numbers, and this match is all about the kids because future leaders will have to run with Ghana's history, and so they must be here to learn about independence and what the role they can play to make Ghana great and strong. More kids from the various schools are forming up gradually.
Well, thank you very much, John Samantha. Here he was reporting live from the Bono Regional Capital as they gear up towards the celebration of this year's 66th Independence Day celebrations. We'll flip over to Ashanti region before I come back to inside the studio to get the comments and reaction from my guests. Nicholas Oseusu reports for us in the Ashanti region, and I believe Nicholas should be on the line right now to speak to us. Nicholas, good morning. We shall get back to Nicholas in due course. Gentlemen, back to you. Yaonochi Frimpong and Dr. Kweku Ananijinde, 66th Independence Day celebrations. You had some comments you wanted to make.
Yeah, I have a few comments.
Okay.
There's no doubt that Kwame Nkrumah played a very critical role. But in my opinion, Kwame Nkrumah could not have been the founder. Because the struggle for independence did not start with Kwame Nkrumah. There was a political party called UGCC. They brought Kwame Nkrumah to be their paid general secretary. So there was that struggle before Kwame Nkrumah came in. He played a very critical role, no doubt about it. Kwame Nkrumah played a very critical role, but he was brought in when the struggle for independence had already begun. So it would be wrong for anybody to think that the struggle for our independence started with Kwame Nkrumah, and as such, it should be called the founder. There were people on the ground already before Kwame Nkrumah came. So that's the first thing remark I want to make. And as such, if we want to create that sense of national unity, I believe that you should have founders, not a founder. We should have founders, not a founder, because the struggle did not start with Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah is a later day comer. That's the first thing I want to put in perspective. And the idea that Buzia won, took the elections on a silver platter is not true. It was a hotly contested election between Buzia and Bedema at that time. So Buzia did not take it on a silver platter. It was a contested election, and then Buzia emerged as the winner of that election. So we have to put things right. And I also want to say that I believe that as a country, we should celebrate any leader who has contributed. And to hear my learned colleague make a suggestion that an attempt is being made to obliterate the memory of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, I think the facts on the ground, to me, are totally different. Because if you go to Kwame Nkrumah Museum today, the whole place is being refurbished and then reorganized, and then rebuilt and then restructured properly to befit the status of Kwame Nkrumah. All those who claim to be Nkrumahs, starting from Rollins to Mills, NDC 1, NDC 2, none of them did anything like that to uplift the Kwame Nkrumah Museum. Now there's going to be a restaurant. I went there last 3 months or so. I just wanted to find out what is going on there. And at the end of the day, when that thing is done, we should be proud that our first president has a befitting museum where we can all visit, have a place to sit, and then maybe learn something about our history. So I believe that all our leaders should be celebrated. But Kwame Nkrumah, in my candid opinion, cannot be the founder, because people started before he came.
Who are the founders, in your view?
The Big Six. Even we can go back to Aboriginal Right Protection Society in 1898 or so. People started the struggle before Kwame Nkrumah joined. You heard of the United Goko Convention. They started struggle for independence. And more secondly, nobody should believe that
did they survive to Independence Day?
Well, they didn't survive, but they started it. You cannot downplay the role they played. You see, it's a question of approach. To say that they did not want independence is wrong. If you don't want independence, why do you start an organization to fight for independence? It's contradictory.
But was there a letter written to the Queen asking
wait
for independence?
You see, it's a matter of approach. I would want us to. We all want to get to Kumasi. I want to go by air. You want to go by STC or whatever. But the end game is Kumasi. Those letters, me, I haven't seen those letters, so I cannot speak to that. I cannot confirm or deny that. I haven't seen those letters. But they all wanted independence. But it is the approach. How fast or how slow we should go is what makes the difference. But nobody should think that they did not want independence. Because if they don't want independence, why did they start an independent movement in the first place? To me, that position is contradictory. So they all wanted independence, but the speed, the pace at which they wanted it to go, or maybe they also differed ideologically.
So Ghana has 6 founders?
I think if it has to be founders, there's people, even though, not just the 6, there were other people who also struggled, who also played a part. Ajete Anko, Nikwa Braponi Anko, they all played a part. And we cannot underestimate the role they played. Just to limit it to only the 6 people, I mean, we have not been fair to the memory of the thousands of Ghanaians, the market women, the farmers who supported the boycott and the demonstrations and whatever. If we do that, we limit it to only 6 people. Excuse me, the 6 people alone could not have won the independence without the support of the ordinary Ghanaians, be they market women, fishermen, farmers. These were the people who actually, when Kwame Nkrumah was arrested, people were outside demonstrating. So without the support of those people on the street, Kwame Nkrumah would not have succeeded.
Okay.
So I believe that when we are talking about founders, it should go beyond an individual. It is not an individual, it was not an individual enterprise, it was a collective enterprise. Although people had differences in opinion, they disagreed, that is quite normal in any political arrangement. But to limit it to the idea that Kwame Nkrumah is the founder, I totally disagree with that.
I'm sure Mr. Frimpong has some thoughts on that. But before you come in, I want to give you some time to percolate your thoughts. Let me go to Ashanti region and speak with Nicholas Osei Wusu. He reports for us in that part of the country. Nicholas, good morning. Happy Independence Day to you.
Good morning, Kafui, and same to you.
All right. Tell us what's happening in the Ashanti region.
Yes, as I speak to you, I'm at a venue for this year's Independence Day celebration in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, the Jubilee Park, formerly the Jackson's Park, where virtually all the key players are almost setting or ready to form up and get themselves ready for the main activities of today. As I speak to you just a minute ago, I saw all the security reps who are directly in charge of the activities here today firming up their plans and programs for the main parade activities. They have just dispersed and they are getting back to their respective contingents. And I'm told we are going to have about 11 contingents from the security services. But to give details to whatever the arrangement is, we are going to speak to the Ashanti Regional Information Officer Nana Akresi Sapon to give us more information about it. Nana? Yeah, so we are going to speak to Nana Akresi Sapon to get more information about what's happening. Nana, good morning.
Good morning.
As already discussed, we are live on GBC. We are on Ghana Television, GTV Breakfast Show. Can you tell us what we should be expecting, what the lineup for today is?
Yeah, we are expecting a quality match by our school children. You know, we brought all the Greater Kumasi assemblies together. Akopa, Ofurukum, Otafo Swami, Adaso, KMA. And they are all here. And for every municipality, we gave them 2 schools each. That's physically challenged schools. Like the military and the other allied agencies. So they are all here this morning for the match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it will be made up of about 500 personnel, drawn from various schools, GPRTU, Massey Metro Gas, military, and their allies.
Oh, okay. So when exactly are we starting?
Oh, we are waiting for the dignitaries, and any moment from now, all is set. You can see the school children about all the dignitaries at the sign room. So they are all at a Pempe Assembly Hall, waiting for further instructions. We are just a few minutes away from starting. So any moment from now, we can start.
Thank you. So we have been speaking to the Ashanti Regional Information Officer, Nana Akresi Sapon, and he's been giving us a bit of data about the in today's Independence Day celebration. And per what he has just given us, it indicates that we are not going to have decentralized celebration in the municipalities that were recently carved out of the main Kumasi metropolis. So all of them are going to converge here. So Ashanti Regional celebration, as far as Greater Kumasi is concerned, is going to be only one celebration here at the Jubilee Park, formerly Jackson's Park. Now I can see some students from the basic through the senior high schools. They are all ready. They are getting ready to start, or they have just been told to go for their breakfast in readiness to form up and to start the day's activities. So that is what is happening here at the Ashanti Regional Celebration Grounds of Independence Day. Now, more of the students are still arriving. I've seen the National Ambulance Service taking position. The military have also done that. We also have the around. Virtually anything, any logistics that is required to make the day commemorative as far as the independence celebration is concerned, it's been put in shape. As you can see some from the shot. So that is what is happening here at the Jubilee Park, here at the Ashanti Regional capital of Kumasi, the Jubilee Park, formerly Jackson's Park. So everything appears to be okay now.
Yo, Nicholas Osewisu, our Ashanti regional correspondent, giving us a flavor of the vibe in the Ashanti region today, 6th March 57. We're celebrating 66 anniversaries of that momentous day back in time. My name is Kafui Day. My guests are Dr. Kwekwana Nijinde, Mr. Yanoche Frimpong. We're looking at the 6th March and matters arising from it. We'll go to your messages in a short while. The papers shortly, but Mr. Frimpong wanted to make some comments based on the
very
reaction.
little. First of all, it's good that whatever you say, there must be a contrary opinion. That is academic,
That's how lawyers are trained, right?
I still stand by the fact that the 1969 election was actually computer programmed to make Busia the prime minister. You see, Busia already being an anti-Nkrumahist, as soon as Nkrumah's government was overthrown, came back to Ghana and became the special advisor to the National Liberation Council. Then a survey was conducted, a poll taken in the country, which came out with the fact that Nkrumah was more popular than anybody here. And so if a free and fair election was organized, whether he himself or anybody in his name would win. And so Busia had to be the chairman of the National Committee for the Civic
Education, NCC.
Very good. And you know that. Yeah. And so he went around everywhere campaigning for himself before.
I thought he was educating people.
Very good. Educating people on civic education, how to throw away Nkrumah. And then a law was passed, Convention People's Party Disability Decree, ensuring that nobody will be able to campaign in the name of Nkrumah or even mention Nkrumah's name or even have his books or anything. So when Gbedema was campaigning, he was already a disabled person, very wounded man. And the seat he won, the Qatar seat he won, even the Qatar seat he won, they brought an action in court against him when he had already taken his seat in parliament and the seat taken from him and given to Awuno Williams. Now, when it comes to the so-called founders, I still believe that we have got only one founder. The Aborigines Rights Protection Society, IPS, which was founded in 1897, was to protest against the lands bill. Yeah, that is all. Not to fight for independence.
They actually sent a delegation.
A delegation to
sent a delegation.
And it was about land.
So it is a form of resistance because they didn't want their land to be nationalized.
They never mentioned independence.
No.
And then this UGCC you are talking about, made up of lawyers, businessmen.
And merchants.
And that's a businessman.
Who brought Kwame Nkrumah?
Yes,
as a paid general secretary.
As a paid general secretary. When he came in and they realized that he was pushing for independence, what happened to him? They hated him and then kicked him out of the organization. And it was only the CPP, which was called the Pro-Independence Party, because the UGCC, you are lucky that Nkrumah won independence for us. Otherwise, you wouldn't have formed part of Ghana. And J.B. Dankwa's Ghana was called Akanman. Nkrumah who brought Ghana. And anybody who argues with me, look back to 1948 when he founded a college in Cape Coast and named it Ghana National College, 9 years before Ghana's independence. So the name Ghana was something selected by Nkrumah out of the famous three empires of the
Ghana Empire.
Savannah. Yes, the Ghana Empire. He was the architect of our independence. The National Liberation Movement was an Ashanti party, united party, made up of Northern People's Party, who felt Southerners did not respect them, so they wanted to go away. SG Antos, one from Volta region, they wanted to join Togo. Gashifi Mope wanted to drive away everybody from Accra. And the Muslim Association Party felt Christians did not respect them, and they wanted their own country. It was only the Convention People's Party.
But later on, set it right. Later on, all these groups came together. They came together.
So all themselves. It was Kwame Nkrumah's Convention People's
Party. But these groups also came together and the United Party. Okay.
So please, when it comes to the independence of, look at the role he played. 1948, the boycott, orchestrated by Nkrumah, and the face of it was Nikwabena Boni II. Then the riots, led by Sergeant Agete, orchestrated by Kwame Nkrumah. Then 1950, the positive action, which made him go to prison. Then 1953, 50, he declared the positive action. And then 51 was the election and was brought from prison. Then 1953, the motion of destiny. All this while, what were these people doing? On the days, on 6th March 1957, look at the people who were assembled there. It was Gbedema, it was, what do you call it? Akwaje, Kwame Nkrumah, and others. And no single member of the opposition was there. They were given an invitation to appear because it was independence for the whole country. And they boycotted. It was good you brought in this dissension so that people will know that they boycotted that day. That is the reason why President Kufuor would not make that picture, that famous 6-match photograph, which is worldwide, part of Ghana's currency, would never put it on Ghana's currency because it's made up of the true CPP people who won independence. Yes, it's good if you are mentioning somebody, but for whom Nkrumah could not have given us our independence. That's Gbedema. And Gbedema was in Kwame Nkrumah. And for Buzia, Dankwa, and all others. The truth was that because of the actual hatred for Nkrumah, it made them shift their attention from independence to something else. So we have one founder. The rest are, I'll call them political dwarfs.
Political dwarfs.
Yes.
Okay, but before Kwame Nkrumah came, there was a struggle for independence. So I still insist. You've expressed your opinion, which I respect. But we are all history students. Constitutional development in West Africa. You realize that there was this struggle before Kwame Nkrumah came. Yep. So if you come to meet me building my house, and then later on we finish for whatever reason we disagree, and then you complete the house, you don't call yourself the founder of the house.
Please, you see, in South Africa, there was struggle for the breakdown of apartheid long before Mandela came out of prison. But he was the face of the anti-apartheid struggle.
Yeah, if you are the face, does not make you the founder.
Is to ensure that Nkrumah becomes the face of independence for the country and the face of African unity. AU has not denied that. So why do we in this beautiful country try to deny that?
Because
what is happening at
nobody is denying anything. We are just simply setting historical records. You see, there's too much distortion in this country.
It's not the handiwork of this one.
No, there's too much distortion, but facts are facts.
It's a UN Heritage Center, started by Rollins. Give credit to Rollins, a UN Heritage Center. And even the idea of the government was to ensure that everybody's statue would be there, Dankwa and all others. And UN said, no, it's only for Kwame Nkrumah. Let us wait and see what will happen eventually when they.
So it is the UN that might decide who Ghanaians should celebrate and who Ghanaians should not celebrate. Is that the argument?
Because they are telling you the truth.
Where truth means what?
You are going to collect 3 million IMF dollars from them. Wouldn't they tell you what you should use the money for?
Now you are diverting the topic.
I'm not diverting.
You are diverting the topic. You see,
if there is
you
a
can express your
heritage
opinion,
center,
but facts remain facts.
Heritage Center for Nkrumah, Heritage Center for Nkrumah, and you want to make it for everybody, definitely they will say that no.
Let's leave it
that
there.
one.
Ghanaians should go and read and inform themselves. But the fact remains that Kwame Nkrumah is not the founder of Ghana.
It's a very good debate.
You're watching. It's not debatable. This is the best way to spend your mornings on television. Right there on GTV
I told you
Breakfast.
that if you put two lawyers together,
you
get 3 different opinions.
Before we get the messages, let's just flip to the papers quickly. Daily Graphic today, our unity worth celebrating, says Professor Nana SKB Asante, touting our credentials. Host Independence Parade today. It's actually at Adaklu. It's happening at Adaklu. Adaklu, people will not be happy. It's Adaklu. It's the regional resource center there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Adaklu. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were there last week to check it out. Over 5,000 people are expected to attend. Independence struggle, role of some influential women. And today's graphic, you see a whole host of women, including Auntie Dede and all those. Yes, Ashikishan. EC, Electoral Commission must err on side of political equality and justice. That's a piece there. And the president to deliver the State of Nations address on International Women's Day, which is in 2 days' time. Ghanaian Times, Independence Day Awards, President honors 72 students for excelling in the 2021-22 BEC exams. 28 Ghana Water Company customers in court for non-payment of 327,000 CDs. No LGBTQI++ in education curriculum, says the organization that is responsible for regulating our education, NACA. And the minority and the majority are urged to ensure consensus in passage of the affirmative action law. Those are a couple of headlines in today's newspapers. The Mirror leads with digital, young women leading the tech drive. Pictures there of Mrs. Sequia Issa, Zulay Abdullah, and Barbara Dakwa. More women adopt technology for business. Renewed sense of patriotism as we celebrate independence. A couple of headlines in today's graphic. Mirror. And then check the back page for a feature on Jacqueline Abena Pokuya, who is one of our athletes. She's a long jumper, a sprinter and a triple jumper. Okay, so here comes, in a short while, Thelma Taki Manye. She has our messages for us this morning, 6th of March, 2023. Ofane, Mingaboye. Ofane, Dromoson.
Ke Machemo Bonale.
Ke Mishe. Ke Abolo.
Don't worry, I'll wait. Really? Abolo is not bad. We are all in this fraternity together. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Independence Day, 66 years old, and we are here just to honor the people who went ahead of us. Heated debates from our two lawyers at the table, and you're also expressing your thoughts. I like that it's like a for and against debate going on. Even at the screen, there's a divided view. There are divided views being shared there. But these are your thoughts and your opinions. Try and keep them sanitized so we can have a healthy discourse. 05555610034 is the number, and I'll start reading from the top. My problem with Mr. Anoche is that he's so fixated on Nkrumah that he doesn't want to hear any contrary views on Ghana's independence. Thank God some of us also know our history. Monica is saying this. There's a screaming at me from the screen. Kwame from Insawam football game, there will be 22 players. But at the end of every match, you will have one player as man of the match. Nothing can be taken from Nkrumah. And so that's someone else's thought. The lawyer in studio is a pollution to the country. Should pray for the case of the Nkrumah CPP because the UP is doing well today, but CPP can't be found. So those are the concluding remarks. I think it's not healthy to have a man who is so bitter. Are you sure? He's also expressing his opinion, so I don't get where you are also going with this one. We all have, if your opinion is valid, then someone else also has, or, hello, educate me, okay? We'll go on. Around the world, there is no nation without a founder, not founders. We are joking politically. As a result, we have become a laughingstock in the Committee of Nations. The name Kwame Nkrumah is the strongest brand for Ghana globally, yet we, the citizens, fail to recognize that fact. Good morning, Togbe Kafui. Your Dimima this morning is very dull, but hope you are fine.
My demeanor? Really?
This demeanor,
I'm smiling.
enter it as an alternative spelling in the dictionary.
I
also thought it was something in Ever, so that I took my time. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of you. I thought it was something in Ever. You know, Heritage Month, we are doing a lot of education on our local languages, so that it's in that spirit. Sorry, okay. Oh no, more messages on our screen. Cap, there's always a leader amongst leaders. Since Nkrumah was the one who led Ghana to independence, he is our founder. We still respect all the leaders who fought for independence. Okay, more coming in. The messages here plenty. When I'm going up, then the screen is coming down. When you find groups fighting towards a goal with different motives, are we saying if one who leads his group to fight and achieve the goal cannot be given the title founder? Please, there were others who contributed to the struggle of building America, but Abraham Lincoln was called the founder of America.
No.
So don't distort the history.
George.
Others are recognized, but a brave leader led the battle to be recognized.
George Washington.
Okay.
George Washington.
George Washington.
Yeah,
more education coming in. My host, tell the smoke-wearing man, if he doesn't know his history, well, we are all learning, so everybody has an opinion. So try and be nice. In a race, only one person is the winner. His argument that there were many others who started the struggle for independence, but they did not win independence for Ghana. Let's try and keep this sanitized, guys. Aspect from Kojokum, already satisfied throughout the day as I listened to your brilliant panelists. Rich history of Ghana being unfolded. These panelists are leaving no stone unturned. Whenever there is an occasion like this, please bring them always so that pure event of history is tapped. Bravo. I salute the man in cloth because he's full of historical facts. A little about him, personally, I like him. Okay, so just enjoying the discourse from what I'm reading so far. Kwame Nkrumah is our founder, is what this message is saying before it went pitch black. And I hand it over back to you.
You're
welcome.
Thank you very much. 055-556-1034. That's our WhatsApp line if you want to get through to us. Any more? Oh, hey, it's back. Okay, good.
Miracles.
All right, more miracles.
Okay, more coming in. Good morning. The only thing Ghana needs now is a change of our constitution. Kweku Roberts Jr. sent us this from Awudome Estate. Ibu Sekendi, I'm currently reading Dark Days in Ghana. Is that the title of a book?
It's a book, yes. Nkrumah's
book after
okay.
it's over.
Dark Days.
Yes.
Good morning, Kafui. Can't we move on as people with one mind? So what has the founders done for us today, I think is what he's saying. We respect our historian, the lawyers, but it must be noted that we are still talking about Nkrumah in the schools. Okay. Let me go to the top. Mr. Frimpong, someone is asking you to speak to the powers that be to pay attention to the elaborate commentary you have espoused and needful. And he goes on to say thank you for the eye-opener. Good morning, happy Independence Day to you all. Congratulations to Accra House of Folk for winning Presidential Cup from Dakar. Brother, your chocolate, I'll make it too, okay? Because House of Folk winning the Presidential Cup, yeah. You must keep the cup. We like that. Okay, as for the others, they can try and win it next year. Because founders, okay, more messages coming in. Someone has sent us a voice note. How can we listen? So can you tell the man who said we have 6 leaders that in fact he's making a huge mistake? Okay, I've told him. Please, they say you are making a huge mistake. Jack Pata from Ajenkutu. Nkrumah founded Ghana. All others were working behind the scenes, like a goal scorer whose name is mentioned as a scorer, but other players supported him. I think I like this, but the Manchester United people won't like it because you see they pass the ball around, but they chop 7. They are 7 a living God. Good morning to all the fans. Paul. We hope you are well, wherever you are. High blood pressure, just drink Percocet. Okay, you'll be fine. Messages on our screens this morning. It's Independence Day, and Kobe Kings from Kaswa Downtown says, Happy 66th Independence Day celebration to Ghana. It's my prayer that our leaders would start thinking of establishing monuments, such as hospitals and schools, on a yearly basis that would match up the commemoration of the occasion. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I wish we could end on that really, really positive note, you see, so that we'll all live here happily. The question is, if not Nkrumah, who? Let's face reality and stop shifting things all in the name of politics. Let's give honor to who honor is due. Nkrumah is the founder of Ghana. It will amaze you how angry my 117-year-old grandfather is this morning watching the TV. He said I should tell you all, Nkrumah is the founder. Please, where is your 117-year-old grandfather? To interview him.
Big time.
So send us some more details and we'll reach out to you.
We'll come.
117. What stories the man could have to tell? I would want to sit down with your grandfather. So let us know where we can find him. But the screen, dear Cap, if I don't take it, I'll be here for 2 hours.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
So, good morning, GTV. AK from Demankase. In fact, Anoche Frimpong has taught us a lot about the arrival of the Europeans and their impact on us. The sad thing is that the GES has removed most of these history from our curriculum. But my grandfather taught me the name Abrofo. He said the Europeans were cruel and tried to demonize and destroyed everything called Ghanaians. So they called them Abrofo. I don't know. Am I getting it wrong?
It's a Fanti word. It's rather started from the Fantis. Okay. Because the Fantis saw them first before the Ashantis.
Okay.
And it's a Birinechirfo. You know, a build beyond the waves.
Okay.
Those who came from beyond the waves.
Okay. See, so every day we are learning new things. That's actually something I did not know before. Good morning, dear. I love your outfits. Red Cultural made this possible. Red Cultural put all our ensembles together today. So follow them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Okay? Love your outfit. Happy 66th Independence Day to our motherland Ghana. Best regards to your families, your Hloji families. Okay, they are listening to you today. Good day, Ghana. Happy 66th. Assuming Ghana is human, he would have been on pension suffering. Ghana, yo, is what he's saying. In Namdi, I would disagree with the man in the middle. I can state categorically that the term Big Six cannot be found in anywhere in the history books of Ghana because after the arrest of the UGCC leadership, the term Big Six was coined by the media. The day after the arrest, the media in their headline brought the Big Six. And so, plenty history lesson.
Power of the
even
media.
Edward Akufo-Addo was not even part of the UGCC. Let's not discuss the history. The man even added reference. So that for those of you who are interested in fact-checking what he put there, you can go and read for yourself. Nkrumah is the leader, not the founder. Ghana was there before all of us. It was Gold Coast. Kweku back again. Dr. Jinde is always speaking to the fact. Founders of Ghana's independence, they goes beyond just Kwame Nkrumah. For instance, if President Nana Addo fulfills the constitutional provision by introducing free SHS, it doesn't mean he started senior higher education in Ghana. Dr. Nkrumah did his part, but he's not the founder, but part of the founders. Master Planner Jr. from Kintampo is also having his say. So, founders, debate ongoing. Hi, BFS. My only problem as a Ghanaian is after 66 years of independence, we can't feed ourselves and also cannot be proud of a single product Ghana is the next exporter. It's a shame. Michael from Ashalaja. Michael, have you heard of cocoa? I'm proud of Ghana's cocoa, and worldwide, people are proud of our cocoa as well. So even if it's not a lot of things, the few that we do have going for us, let's hold on to them. Okay, cocoa is there. There's also maize, which is used to make kenke. So we like that. More messages coming. Good morning and happy Independence Day to all. Sending birthday shouts to Yam Ponsa, Abigail, and all of you from Air Forces Technical. Okay, is this what Ghana needs now? We need pragmatic ideas to help develop this nation. Governor is saying from Kumasi Bomso, 66 years Ghana, who still borrows from the whites. Alex is saying, speaking from Takrady, that CPP man should not deceive himself about Nkrumah, because we all know the history during struggle. It's Park Grant who imported Nkrumah to then Gold Coast. Okay, so are you a CPP man? No. Okay, so I don't know which CPP man you are talking about now.
No, here they give you tax, eh? They tag you.
Tag you straight.
Hello, it's really nice watching your show, watching live from Cape Coast. Happy anniversary. Kofi Bwedio Wusu. Right on Ghana. Good morning to you, Kofi. They asked for the screen.
Okay.
Good morning. Okay. Please, the man you fans are my friends.
All right.
Kaf and Valerie are my friends.
Tama, there's more coming in, but we want to go on the line now and speak with a gentleman who has been listening with rapt attention and keen interest. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Busia Institute. And I'm sure he had some references to Professor K.A. Busia, and so he wants to make an input into the show. Mr. Anani Ejay is on the line. Happy Independence Day to you, Anani. What's on your mind this morning?
Thank you, and same to you, my brother. I greet the noble panelists over there and all the listeners and viewers of your show.
Thank you.
A great day today, a day we commemorate the efforts of our founders and forefathers. And I think that when we have the opportunity to talk about our history, we must try and unify the nation rather than to separate the people and talk as if only one person should be given all the honors. On the day that Ghana gained independence, 6 March 1957, 63 years ago, Dr. Busia made a statement, and I think we have to listen to him carefully. He said, "It is by the devoted day-to-day services of many ordinary and unnoticed citizens that a nation achieves greatness. It is a mistake for us to think that one person or a few people founded this country." Just as the other panelist, Dr.
Jinde
Anani said, you trace it back to about a century earlier when people started the agitation for self-governance. It was not an event that happened one day. It was a process that took time, and eventually we got there. So it is unacceptable to say that Nkrumah is the founder of Ghana. He is one of the notable founders. And I must say that Nkrumah never declared independence when he stood on the days at where we have the Nkrumah Mausoleum. So for lawyers to say that there was no member of the UP on that day or at that event, it's a mistake. It was a pure CPP that was held. It was not an event to declare Ghana independent. If Nkrumah had the power and the authority to declare independence, I'm sure he would have done it long before that time. So, independence was not declared on a pack.
So what happened on that day, Anani, on the 6th, when he said, Ghana, your beloved country is free forever? What happened?
That day, it was a rally that was held by the CPP. And Nkrumah was telling the people that we were on the verge of gaining independence, because a few hours after that, they assembled at the assembly, at the, how do you call it, Parliament House. And that was where independence actually was gained, when a delegation from the Queen of England came over and made a speech. And let me tell the lawyer that if he says there was no UP member on the days when Nkrumah declared independence, and he never declared any independence anyway, it was a CPP rally, and so the UP people had no business being there. Yes. So on the Independence Day in Parliament, when the Queen's message had been delivered, and then Nkrumah moved a motion asking for me who seconded that motion. It was Dr. K. Busia, then leader of the opposition, who seconded the motion by Nkrumah. And it was from that speech that I made that quotation, that it was by the devoted services of many ordinary and unnoticed citizens that a nation achieves greatness. We have to give credit to Nkrumah for the enormous role he played in Ghana gaining independence. Equally, J.B. Dankwa, Pat Grant, Akwa J, and all the others, and not even those in the so-called Big Six, were part. I mean, not only the six were the people who gained independence. Even the six, I have the problem even with the Big Six. Because you see, at the time that these noble gentlemen emerged as the Big Six, Ghana, the Gold Coast was limited to the central part of the country. You see, at the time, Ghana was divided into three. We had the Northern Territory, we had Ashanti, we had the Gold Coast, and the Togoland, which eventually came together to form Ghana. So everybody's role that culminated into that eventful period must be notified and honored. We should not single out Nkrumah as if the others did nothing. And we should not also try to water down the achievements of Nkrumah. Just as we talk about the leaders of our country, I think that any person who has ever been elected to serve this country has something special. That's why the nation gave him that mandate. So we must pause and respect the contributions of all these leaders and accord them their place in our history. This will bring about the unity we all yearn for. But to sort of jettison the others, push them outside, and then project one person as if all the others is nothing, that will not inspire patriotism. All the people from every part of the country, from north, south, east, and west, contributed in diverse ways. The market women, the students, the politicians, the teachers, and all that. So when we talk of founders, that we are talking about the fact that we recognize the individual and collective contributions of these eminent persons. And therefore, those of us alive and those who will come tomorrow will also feel that then we must also contribute our quota. So someday, we will be mentioned for our contributions to national development. I think national unity is built on consensus, on identifying and recognizing the roles of all other people and giving them their place in the country's history. So this is the letter I want to say for now.
All right. I thank you very much, Executive Director for the Busia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development, Mr. Anani Adjei, speaking to us there and giving us some insights into what happened far back, 66 years ago, Independence Day conversations here on GTV Breakfast. We'll take a quick break. We'll return and then get a flavor of what's happening in the Upper West region with our man Swala Abdul Wahab. We'll come back, get some insights from my guests, and take your messages too as well on 055-556-1034. It's 8:30. You're watching GTV. This is GTV Breakfast. Back after this break. live from Accra, capital of the country. We're going to the capital of the Upper West region, where we speak with our regional correspondent, Suala Abdul Wahab. Salam alaikum. Good morning. Happy Independence Day to you, Suala. What's the vibe like in Wa today?
Salam alaikum. Well, we are currently coming to you from Isa, the regional capital of the Dafiamabuse Isa district. This is the second time the Upper West region has moved the celebration of the Independence Day from the regional capital, Ewa, to one of the 11 districts in the region. Isa is one of the newly created districts which is still struggling to meet its developmental needs. So we are currently at the Isa Primary, where hundreds of students have gathered to take part in the celebration. We also have the presence of the security agencies who are well represented by the military, the customs, fire service, and the rest. At the moment, the Upper West Regional Minister, Dr. Hafiz bin Saleh, is inspecting the guard of honor. And we understand we have 580 students from the primary, junior high, senior high, and some technical institutes to take part in Ghana's 66th anniversary celebration, which is taking place at Isa for the first time. Last year, the regional administration moved the celebration from Wa, the regional capital, to Nadoli Kaleo district, where it was held outside the regional capital for the first time. And this year, the Regional Coordinating Council has repeated it by choosing Isa, the regional capital of Dafiamabuse, Isa, for the celebration of the Independence Day. So we are coming to you live from Isa in the Upper West region. I can say for the first time, many people here have not witnessed the regional celebration. And so they are
Beautiful, great stuff there from our man Suala Abdul Wahab in the Upper West region, giving us some military music and some flavor of Independence Day. I'm back to my guest here, Dr. Kwekwana Nijinde. Yeah, not sure from Pong. Well, you heard the comments of Mr. Anania J. Any insights?
let him You know, to be very honest.
Why are we so
at this stage, you see, sometimes I believe in sticking to the historical facts. You know, he was talking about the formal handing over of power in the House of Parliament.
Yes.
But before that, there was this big national event.
Yes.
Where independence was declared, although the paperwork was still to be done in the House of Parliament.
So that was a symbolic gesture.
So if you have such an event, you cannot hide it. So you have to come out openly and then make a declaration for the whole world to know. So the history I've learned is that that was the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
On the eve of 6th March. So it was done 5th March midnight.
Entering into 6th March.
Entering into 6th March. Just to tell the whole world that, hey, here we are, independent nation. So I think the debate will be how we can harness our resources to build this country. 66 years of independence, I don't think we've done very badly. We've done, Ghana, to me, is not a failed state. We've done well.
But we are not economically independent.
We are not economically independent because of the way the world economic structure has been put in place. And then this IMF World Bank.
We are blaming the world.
Wait.
Other people are doing
you
well.
See, we are operating within a system. We are operating within a global system, whereby if you are not able to position yourself well, you always be found entangled, even strangled by this multinational organization. So but at a point in time, as a country, you have to take a decision. How do we disengage? Not totally, but how do we ascertain our economic independence? It means we have to look within.
Like China did.
Like China did, like South Korea did, like other countries did. We have to look within and then be able to produce what we need, and then we also be able to sustain ourselves economically. Not always depending on the outside for handout. But if you are not economically independent, others will continue to control you.
Question is, are we free? Are we independent? Are we really independent?
No,
beyond the flag and the anthem?
No, we have a flag and all the national paraphernalia, national anthem, a flag, all the symbols of state. We have all those. Yes. But economically, we are not yet independent. At all. That one we must admit.
Not yet Uhuru.
I hope my good friend has something to add. I think
I just wanted you to respond, and you have done that rightly.
Yes.
The only thing I want to add is that even before our independence, the British Parliament had already voted on it and signed that on 6 March 1957, Ghana becomes independent. And then on that day, Nkrumah actually announced it to the world. And before they went to Parliament to talk about it, we had already changed our name from the Gold Coast to Ghana. We had already brought down the Union Jack, and it was the Black Star flying. And then we had got our instead of God Save the Queen. Now we have God Bless Our Homeland, Ghana, and we knew our leader. So one day went there, and the president, the first prime minister, moved the motion. It was just procedural. Independence had already been achieved.
It was a formality.
And this man, Buzia, couldn't have at that time opposed it. Nobody in the world could have opposed it. So if you are saying that when Nkrumah moved the motion, it was Buzia who seconded it, there was no way he could have opposed it in any manner. If he had not done that, Bedema would have gotten up, or Botio would have done that. So it wasn't anything news or anything historical that K.A. Buzia did. What is important is that the founder of the country, I believe, is Nkrumah. And I agree with you seriously that we have very important historical figures Ghana has produced, and we should not do anything to downplay their image. We should project them, especially the K.A. Buzia you are talking about. I admire him so well for his rural development he brought to Ghana. That short period, I know 2 bridges he constructed on the road towards my village. Nobody can say that he didn't play any role. But I'm saying that we don't have founders. We have one founder. Like the captain of a team. We don't have captains. We have a captain. As Amwajan said, Kwesi Appiah had named him general captain, and then the captain. And he said, I played football throughout my life. I don't know when we have somebody called general captain and another person called captain. You should just tell me that you have removed me from my position and you put that guy.
One day we'll get up in Ghana and they will say director general captain. CEO captain, general manager captain.
So please, let's just and then for your
supervisor captain.
The Buzia man, meet me, and then I will tell you that even Buzia and Nkrumah were cousins. Later on, I will tell you historically.
I'll connect you to
them. They have come from the same royal house.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Noche, he's lucky that the bridges that Buzia constructed, he's lucky he has bridges. My place, Buzia put culverts. The culverts are still lying there. From Kintampo, Buzia's culverts. Kintampo, Olongro, Busema, Yarakani, the culverts are still there up to now.
1969, 1970 culverts?
Yes.
Wow. Still there.
You are lucky. You have a bridge.
Take a picture of the. I want to see these culverts.
And I praise him for
I want to see these culverts. Take a picture the next time you're
going. We still have the culverts there.
Still there.
Still there. The road has not been constructed.
But the culvert came.
The Busia started with the road, and then they put the culvert to build the road across the. But the culverts are still lying there.
And there's no road to be found.
There's no road to be found.
What we can find though is a damsel who is not in distress. Her name is Thelma. Charlie, have you ever seen a black woman blush? That's Thelma right now. Coy to his coy mistress, just blushing, blushing away. Blush away. Give us the news. Oh, black woman blushing.
These are your messages. Listen, it's a healthy debate, and it's such a key part of who we are.
Wow.
Talk, make
it talk so.
That's what we are in now. So let the messages, as you're sending them, be reflective of that. Your opinions are not those of GBC. AK from Dema comes to say we should celebrate our Independence Day. Gather and march does not matter. I think whatever money is going to be spent on this celebration, with everybody going to the Volta region, if they had selected a deprived district and built a new school, or selected a ramshackle district hospital or health center and upgraded it and named it Independence School or Independence Hospital, it would be good.
From the former Chief Justice made that statement earlier on.
So he's quoting from the person. So that's why these ones are in quotation marks, bringing to add to the celebration that we are having today on Independence Day. Let me see. I want to give a classical example for the people against Nkrumah being the founder. Let's assume the great man in the Batakari planned to build a church, but before that he involved his wife and children in this. So he started and unfortunately passed away. My question is he going to be the founder of the church, or his family will be the founders? So questions into our screens. Okay, here's one that I'm definitely going to ignore because we don't condone calling each other names here. So read my comment. What was it? Nice looks, people. Thank you. We've read the comment. Nkrumah, someone is saying, Nkrumah is dead. Long live Nkrumah. Nkrumah never dies. And hitting us with one of Kwame Nkrumah's very iconic quotes, I am in the knowledge that death can never extinguish the torch which I have lit in Ghana and Africa. Long after I'm dead and gone, the light will continue to burn and be borne aloft, giving light and guidance to all people. Okay. Said, in every competition, there is only one winner. The man in the middle should not be deceiving us. Okay. He's having his say just like you are. Someone says someone has a biased history, a view of Ghana's history. Get him the piano, and unlike Kwejo Agri, he will only see back keys. Okay. Ghanaians have had enough of Independence Day celebrations. We are still struggling for development as a third world and depending on other countries for sustainability activities. But we invest hugely on Independence Day celebrations yearly. It's time we plan to celebrate it every 10 years. So we can channel the yearly money we spend to care for yearly Independence Day developmental projects to help the country achieve most of her targeted objectives. Richard Kuma Dom is reaching us from Manso Edubia. Okay, it's like the screen today if I don't read your message. No essential vaccines for our infants. Is that part of independence? This is quite a topical issue. So some vaccines are in short supply and some children have not been vaccinated. So that also needs to be reiterated. Thank you very much for your comment. Keep watching GBC News. We'll try and find some answers for you. Hello, Cafe. Ghana is 66. I thought Ghana is 5. We have come from far, but in person, I always feel bad due to what I'm going through as a youth without work. Let us do things to suit our age, is what this is saying. Nkrumah, without mincing words, is the founder of Ghana. He is primus inter pares. Kudos to Lawyer Noche. Still remains that Ghana was solely founded by Osagyefo, and he says thanks for setting the records straight. Okay. This is a tall one. It is obvious that a lot of people play key roles in the independence success story. However, we can't list all the market women as founders. The 6 played great roles, but there will always be a leader among the 6. The fact that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah or the 6 are highlighted as founder or founders does not necessarily eliminate the efforts of all. But Anochi, you've been missed. Well done for sharing your knowledge. Kofi says, this is sad for me to hear only the talks about this great man Nkrumah just when it's time for Independence Day celebration. Let's do the talk. It's time for the youth to rise and hold our leaders accountable. Ghana celebrates independence on the lips, but the reality is we are still dependent. More from Adam in Adan. Good morning. It's a good thing we are celebrating independence, and the shifting of it from one region to another is a good move to develop our regions. Volta Regional Chairman is listing some development already in the region. Volta is alive this morning, and if you are there, try and keep safe. You think freedom is free? Think again, is what this viewer is saying. People, chiefs, religious leaders, workers, soldiers, civilians, and some foreigners fought and bled for it, but now some few people are benefiting from it. This is as a result of greed and unpatriotic character displayed in people. Let's all check ourselves from the highest to the lowest and amend our ways. Manuel sent us this from Ashanti Bekwai. CAF, from the psychosocial point of view, a person who is 66 is either enjoying integrity or despair, depending on the kind of life they've lived. What should be said of Ghana? I leave it to you. Lawrence Oscar is sending us that. Someone says, hi to you as well. Happy birthday to Ghana. I wish you a happy celebration. Thank you so much. Fred from Teshi is also joining. Looking at the actions taken before independence, it will be ignorant to pinpoint one person as founder. Nkrumah was taking salary for the struggle. If I pay a contractor to build my house, is he the founder of the house or the owner of the house? No. It's a shame to keep debating this issue because politics is destroying this country. Fred.
No. Tell him Nkrumah was not paid any salary for the struggle. The £250 a month promised him by the UGCC was later on refused. It was people like Dede Ashikishan and others who contributed to feed him, please.
He worked for free.
He worked for free. And even how he funded...
I disagree. I disagree. Because when he was working with the CPP, and when he was working for the UGCC,
yes,
he was a paid, salaried Secretary General. But when you leave that UGCC, we can't pay you because we are not making use of your services. We only brought you in as General Secretary, paid you £250 at that time.
Did he take that money?
Once they paid him,
took it.
They paid him until he decided to part company with them. So if you part company with, why should I continue to pay you?
Professor, check your facts.
You also have to check your facts.
They never paid him. He was
then how was he living? If I bring you and I don't pay you, why do you continue to work for me?
Yeah, he was not prepared to take the money.
How was he living?
See, there are two things. He was not prepared to take it, or they did not pay him. So which is which?
You know,
he was not prepared to take it, or they did not pay him. Which is which? We want to be clear. It will be a long debate.
I feel like a judge.
What is important is that he never took the money. He never had it.
No.
He never had it.
You just said they did not pay him, or he refused. Which is which? He refused, or they did not pay him.
His aim was different from why they brought him. So definitely they
but somebody brought him.
So he used them to achieve his own aim.
We are here to educate people. He was engaged as a general secretary.
What was his role when they brought him in?
He was supposed to be the secretary general of UGC, because these were businessmen, merchants,
almost like a CEO.
As a CEO,
of the
and he was being
organization.
paid until he parted company with them.
You disagree?
Yeah, we can move on.
We can move.
Happy Independence Day to the GTV staff for giving good education to Ghana. Efo Maugbe Kwame. Listen, there are those who think all this debates we should focus on development, and I've seen a few of the comments that are coming. Watching live from Kumasi Asafo. And thank you as well. Though many might have contributed to the attainment of independence, I think Nkrumah is founder. You didn't add your name. Madam, I like your outfits. Rate Culture is responsible for all our outfits. Happy Independence Day. And you're saying that God continue to bless all, RIP to all gone souls. The people who fought for this freedom we now enjoy. Good morning, Thelma. Emmanuel Quay. I came to the studio for an interview, and you want to request Goyle. I don't even know what this one means, but hey, live messages. The messages are just for, I'm reading them as they pop up. So forgive some of the few times I'm not quite clear what I'm reading. Funny power, whether we like it or not, in UK, in US, all over the world, they know Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah whenever they talk about independence of Ghana. Eja Bentley from Prestia
messages
is having
crazy,
listen, the screen, someone has sent me 20 because of the photo, I'm afraid. You see? Do you celebrate your own birthday every 10 years? Independence Day must be celebrated every year. To review the state of the country, Jack Pata said this from Ajen Kotoku, the city of onions.
I know somebody who celebrates her birthday every 4 years. She was blessed to be born in a leap year. She's one of our head of makeup, Betty. So when it's not a leap year, she chooses either 28th February or 1st March.
Oh, okay.
So technically she's about 10 years old or 9 or 8, I don't know. Technically, yeah.
Happy Independence Day to our lovely country, Ghana. And a happy birthday to all the bonds who were born on, the 6 March bonds. Yes, you and Ghana have the same birthday. Okay, yeah. So happy birthday.
My wife
to you.
missed it by 1 day.
One day.
She would have been called
Mrs. Day
missed it by a day. Should have been called Liberty or Independence.
Missed it by a day.
Yeah.
And Auntie Jifade, they can name her Independence.
They would have called her.
Volta. Good morning to all the people in the Volta region.
She missed it best by 1 day.
Meets patience.
Yeah, should have been called Independence or Liberation. Liber, Indi for Independence.
They don't mind He told me to say this.
They cut the names in our places. So Independence becomes Indi, and then Liberation becomes Liber.
He told me to say this.
Yeah.
Hey, someone is sending us newspaper clippings. I agree with
we are going to Adaklo right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thank you so much, Akpanao. Dr. Jinde, thank you so much. Mr. Frimpong, thank you so much. We are going to Adaklo right now, Volta region. The parade is about to start. This is GTV Breakfast, 8:53. Let's take you live to the Volta region. Happy birthday, Ghana. Here we go.